Hello, welcome to our Chisto, CHISTELL.com, our Chisto YouTube channel. And I am your host, author Denise Turney, and I'm the writer of the books Love Pour Over Me, Portia, Long Walk Up, Rosetta's Great Adventure, and Love Has Many Faces. But my latest is Love Pour Over Me. This session of today's Chisto.com YouTube channel is going to talk about where to find ideals for great classic books. And these are like your great works of literature that stand the test of time. And those are always the types of books since I was a kid that I wanted to write. Once it was revealed to me that I was a writer, I always wanted to write the classics, the books that stood the test of time. I wasn't so concerned to write a bestseller. It had to be a book that would speak to people from various backgrounds, that would speak about the human condition, would touch people very deeply, and would engage people in thought and in I want to say not just musing, but actually pondering their lives until they made better change. Doing that as a novelist, and there are great novelists who may not set out to do that, but they want to write. They want to respect their craft and write their best story, and they end up doing that almost organically, or what it would appear to be by accident. So, where do you get these ideals for these great classic stories? And some of what I've learned are from interviews I've heard uh, very highly respected writers uh, to give, and some things they shared, and some I've learned firsthand along the way. But again, from even guests that I've interviewed on my radio show, Off the Shelf. So some of these ideals come from number one, I will tell you the newspaper. I know Stephen King said he has got an idea for a great story through a newspaper, and you can find ways to use that newspaper story to fit a great novel. But how think about stories you read in the newspaper, and I encourage people to read the newspaper. I actually read the Sunday paper last weekend, and there are stories that are shared in the paper that you're probably not going to get on the internet, not going to get on the radio, and not going to get in a magazine. But some of those stories, what could you do with them from a novel perspective, making sure that you don't break any copyright, you don't break any, go into any issues with people's privacy. So avoid those things. But there are some you might see some universal themes as you start reading the newspaper or a story. So that the newspaper is one place to get some ideas for a great classic novel. Press releases are another one because a lot of stories before they hit the newspaper, they'll start out in a press release. And thanks to the internet, you can go online and go to some of the press release distribution sites and look at just key in some things and see what comes up. And that's another place where you can get ideals for great novels, great literature. Um, dreams, dreams. There's an author who started a vampire series, and the ideal for the series came through a dream. Actually, there's a nonfiction writer. He did more like a motivational speaking. I can't think of his name right now, but I have some of his audio tapes. He said the ideal for his book, I think it's titled "Think and Grow Rich." You can correct me in the comments section if I didn't get that right, but "Think and Grow Rich," and you could also please put the author's name in case anybody's interested. It might be Napoleon Hill, but please let me know in the comment section, and other people who watch the video. But that he went to bed and he had been speaking with his publisher, and he said, I have to come up with a great idea, a great title that will really cause this book to sell. And he really pushed his subconscious, like, you have to do it. And he woke up with the idea for the title, which went on to sell millions of copies and still sells. Think and Grow Rich. Real life experiences. Think about your real life experiences that your family and or friends, colleagues, neighbors have had. Again, avoid privacy issues. So you're going to change these stories. But those, I had a writer actually contact me with a question on on something that took place at like a country club, and could he use the name of the country club? I said just to avoid any issues around any legal issues, or if the name is trademarked, etc. I would change the name of it and maybe change a little bit of the identity of it. But the other events you might be able to leave in as is and be okay, but of course, run it by an attorney. Um, so real life experience and your imagination. That's the writers like your our best friend for anybody who's creative, whether it's in music or writing or painting, sculpting, whatever you do. Your imagination, isn't that our friend? So those are some other great ways to come up with story ideas. You can also ask other people, but again, that could, if the book takes off, they might come back asking you for some money. So I would say your imagination, the newspaper, press releases, radio stories, real life events, things that happen to you, your family members, your friends, neighbors, colleagues. Those are great fodder for think what is it? A Tale of Two Cities. A Tale of Two Cities. So based on his and his family's real life events. So Dickens. So those are some things to get your mind working because I'd love to read your great stories. If you are somebody who likes to write literature and classics, please post the title of your classics and your name in our comment section and subscribe to our chisel.com YouTube channel. Please go get a copy of my new book, Love Pour Over Me by Denise Turney. Bye for now. Remember, you are awesome. You're amazing. You are incredible. See you next time. Thank you for being here.